All right, good morning. Hi. I am here to go over my collection of Sega Genesis today. This is going to be my first video. I'm Jeremy, and I am part of the Arcade Riot Trio. Anyways, there's three other guys who are involved in this as well, but mainly Matt and Mike, but there's also Justin. We all can't be together today because we are all kind of stuck during coronavirus, but I've amassed a pretty good Sega Genesis collection. I started playing the Genesis back in the late 80s, early 90s. I used to play a lot of Sonic, um, Street Fighter, Disney themed games. And that's kind of expanded. There were even a couple of sports games and other oddities that I was really into. I kind of want to just show you this. I hope you don't mind. My room is kind of still getting renovated, but I've sort of amassed mounting most of the Genesis games on the wall here. So I'll show you guys these in a second here. So up here is where I've kind of put a lot of the sports titles that I don't play. Uh, but I've managed to get these at various places over the years, just, collecting lots and stuff, and they've kind of amassed. So here are actually a lot of the cardboard box games that I have that I've actually taken the regular game and I've actually stuck it in like a replica case just to get easier access to it, but also to protect the boxes here. Here's some of like the Sega Saturn, Sega CD stuff I have. I just kind of put it up there. I ran out of space mainly with my storage, and that's what's there. There's the this there is one of the arcade sticks I've obtained, and there is the Sega mouse, which you can use to play with some of the games that require a mouse. So over here, got a couple of. This is kind of where it starts out. This here is just some of my games here, some Marvel themes. There's Super Street Fighter 2, one of my favorites. Definite go-to for anybody who likes fighting games, especially on the Genesis. Quite excellent, actually. Just some other games here. There is Dungeons and Dragons for those who are into that. Um, Anyways, down here, this is where we've got a lot of the Disney themed games in my collection. Gargoyles, definitely quite good. If you haven't played that one, that's one of the best platformers Disney made on this system. I would say that Lion King and Jungle Book definitely not for the faint of heart. Definitely Disney went a little bit all out on this system. I've played Mickey Mania quite a bit as a kid and even now as an adult. Still can't beat it though. Get up to the last level and it's just a bit tough there. This is Ranger X over here. My friend Justin got this at KB Toys when we were kids. He introduced me to mech games through this. This is actually a really good mech. There's some others. These are the Vector Man games over here. They have they were kind of made to compete with Donkey Kong Country, and it was towards the end of the Sega Genesis reign as Sega's main console there. Uh, Pretty well done games, actually. Here's all my Simpsons games uh, for the Genesis. I love the Simpsons. And this is really cool here. This one I want to show you. This is a kind of a homebrew made game of The Simpsons, but through the Streets of Rage 2 theme, so to speak. This game is kind of a homebrew. It's really well done. It's a lot of fun. Great beat 'em up. Really the kind of beat 'em up style game that you look forward to on these older systems. Here's some of my recent pickups here. I want to showcase some of these. This is Afterburner 2. Thing I like about Afterburner is that's one of Yu Suzuki's franchises that he was involved a lot with. He made some pretty great stuff for the Sega. back in the day, and you know, I'm pretty interested in continuing seeing what he develops. I recently finished Shenmue 3, uh, which is one of my favorites on the Dreamcast. This one here I just recently picked up. I'm looking forward to playing this. This is Toki Going Ape Spit. Apparently, I've looked on some of the other channels. This is a pretty popular game by people who are looking for some of the more low-key, less popular named titles. This one's getting pretty popular. I kind of have some others here. Todd's Adventures in Slime World. Is the Echo games, of course. And then here we have a couple of others here. Here's where all the Sonic games are. And you can see I've got quite a few here. Actually, Sonic and Knuckles. This here, of course, is a replacement case. I do have the real thing on one of the shelves. But I'll show you this here. If I open it up, what's pretty cool is this person actually made a custom case so that you can actually just mount it in there, like so. You know, that was one of the features about the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge that a lot of people didn't like, is that it came in a cardboard case and really there was no way to kind of mount it properly in the case. And that's kind of why I got that there. Here we go. We got a lot of the other games. Another one here, another Yu Suzuki title, Super Hang-On. And really excellent arcade racer on the Sega. Actually, Swords of Vermilion as well is another Yu Suzuki game that I failed to mention a second ago. Down here, a lot of some of the other ones you might see. You know, platformers, fighters, Jurassic Park, of course. Some others here. I got Battletoads and Double Dragon. I don't know if anybody's played this. This one's actually really a lot of fun. Really recommend it. Anybody pick that up and play it when they get a chance. Alright, here's the one game, a sports title for the Genesis that I think is just exceptional. NBA Jam. I spent so many hours mastering this game. This is probably one of the games that I have literally feel that I can perfect a performance on. I've played lots of hours on it. I'm pretty wicked on the defense on it. Here's the Mortal Kombats I have. Going through a couple more. Over here, I have, you know, Altered Beast, Green Dog, Street Fighter 2, just the Special Champion Edition, but kind of more the traditional of what you're looking for. Over here, a couple of the loose cartridges I have, and actually there's kind of some of the Sega Dreamcast stuff that I've amassed. I've kind of just put it on the shelf for now. Here, Road Rash 1, 2, and 3. Road Rash 2, holy cow, what a great game. It's just really phenomenal racer on the Genesis. Really, they outdid themselves. Got a few other racing games here, Off-Road, Kawasaki. A few others. These are kind of, as you can see, these are the cardboard games. They, you know, Genesis started making these later on, and, you know, they weren't as good as the cases by any means. Really, you know, so purchase these plastic protectors to keep them in good shape. Still going down here, some more Marvel games, Maximum Carnage, X-Men 2, NHL 94. You know, that's one of the more popular sports games. A lot of people still very dedicated to that game. There's a few more, Kid Chameleon, Lethal Enforcers 2. Here's another cool one for those who don't know. This is Virtual Racing. Virtual Racing. This, they really made it for the 32X and the Sega Saturn, but this one here on the Genesis has a unique cartridge that you might not be aware of. I'm just going to open this up for a second and show you what that looks like. Cartridge is basically twice the size as the original. It's pretty cool just to kind of look and check it out. And This game's actually quite good. I actually prefer, though, the 32X version of this game, and you'll see that in a second. Here's another. I actually like this fishing game. This is Bassmasters Classic. This is kind of fun. I just like it because it's kind of a traditional fishing game, but it at the same time, it's just got kind of like a nice relaxing feeling. It's like that kind of feeling you get when you're playing, some of these other games like Animal Crossing that everybody's talking about lately. Space Harrier 2, another Yu Suzuki classic. Great shoot 'em up, kind of a 3D shoot 'em up. People really love that. That was pretty unique when it first came out on the original Master System. Some others here. And we're now at the bottom shelf as well. I actually like this racing game. This is Nigel Mansell's World Championship racing. This game is pretty hard at first, but believe it or not, I actually got used to it after playing it a bit. Quite fun, actually. There's a few others here, Light Crusader, Frogger. A lot of the other titles down here, though, I don't really go to as much anymore. Of course, there's the 32X games, which a lot of people are really, collecting for. A lot of these have really gone up in price. But that being said, I'm just going to kind of show you this other stuff here as well that I have. This here is kind of where I keep the top shelf games that I really enjoy for the Genesis. Truxton, a great shoot 'em up. Poppy Commando and Pierce Solar homebrews. Pierce Solar is pretty unique. It's a newer game that actually has the Sega CD attachment with it. They also made it on the Dreamcast. There's the Mutant League games. A couple more homebrews here. Coffee Crisis, Little Medusa. Coffee Crisis, pretty unique. It's a beat 'em up style like Streets of Rage. Where you're, going after aliens that are stealing Wi-Fi and coffee. Sunset Riders, another Poppy Commando I actually have there. Gunstar Heroes, good run and gun. Of course, Turtles, Hyperstone Heist, Comic Zone, Contra Hardcore. The three Phantasy Stars, Phantasy Star 4, possibly one of the best RPGs on the system. Thunder Force 2, another good shoot 'em up. Of course, you got to have both Earthworm Jims. As the Toe Jam and Earl games. Outrun, another Yu Suzuki classic. Racer, arcade style. Streets of Rage 2. There's a few others here as well. There's the real Sonic and Knuckles. Of course, there's the Streets of Rage 2. The Mickey Castle of Illusion. Then there's Red Zone and Aladdin. Red Zone, pretty unique game. It has probably some of the best looking video graphics on any cartridge I've ever seen when you first start it up. Game's not that great really though, but it's pretty impressive when you first start up the game. Aladdin, my goodness, what a great platformer. Possibly one of the best on the Genesis, if not the best. Then, of course, just going to show you this here. This is kind of where I keep in my little Shenmue collection here of stuff, because I love Shenmue. Some of my Dreamcast games and, some of my other collector's editions and other stuff there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I can show you a little bit of my other Genesises right here. This right here is my Genesis. It's the full toilet seat that a lot of people talk about. And, I got the Game Genie for when I want to stack up. And there's the Sega, the 32X when I want to stack up. Also, next to it, the Genesis Mini. Pretty good. I'm so glad Sega started to remake consoles again. Just really, they've done such a great job at coming back into the console market by making that. I really hope that maybe one day they will make another. Just for luck, these are some of my Dreamcast consoles. I'll be making another video on them at some time. Anyways, I really appreciate you stopping by and looking at what I've got here. I'll have some updates in the near future, so I hope you come back. All right, bye bye.